As we celebrate the Lionel Collectors Club of America's 40th year, we started to look back to this great organization's beginnings. Did you ever wonder how the LCCA came to be? Did you ever wonder what it was like to be at the very first convention? Let's go back and meet up with the founding member of the LCCA, Jim Gates. To say Jim Gates was influenced by the railroads is really an understatement. Railroads and toy trains have been intertwined with his life since his birth some 70 years ago. Jim's father was a conductor on the Milwaukee Railroad. As their family struggled, Jim's dad would make toys for his son.
He made my toys, and he made this boat out of sticks. Yeah, that's a thimble, no sandpaper. So anyway, that was one of my first toys. We had a swamp around our house, snakes, and I'd tie a rope on it, push it out there. World War II was going on. I'd throw clods of dirt, the water'd splash up, and I had my own Battle of the Coral Sea.
Remarkably, these handmade toys have survived, and Jim has proudly displayed them in his train room. You will see later how building toys is a skill that has served him well. It was only natural when Jim got older, he too went to work for the railroad. Once he had a job, he started buying toy trains. Not any toy train would do. It had to be made by Lionel. Jim does appreciate the other brands, but over the years he's developed a fierce brand loyalty to Lionel, and that will also become an important part of our story later. One terrible night, Jim was working near a depot and was nearly killed while backing up some cars. He was crushed by an F3 diesel and had to be taken to the hospital because he was in very bad shape. When he came to almost 36 hours afterwards, the first person he saw was a young nurse. He thought he must be in the presence of an angel. Little did he know the angel in front of him would later become his wife of 51 years. By the way, Josie is an angel. Jim and Josie married in 1959 and began their life together. They have 3 daughters, Nancy, Sandra, and Betty Jo. During this time, Jim continued to acquire Lionel trains in his home in Des Moines, Iowa. As the 60s were coming to a close, Jim felt the toy train community was missing something. They had a number of toy train clubs, however none were dedicated exclusively to his favorite maker of trains, Lionel. He decided to change that, and the result became the LCCA. Jim put ads in train and model train magazines asking people to join his fledgling club. He started a grassroots effort from his home in Des Moines, sending flyers and applications all over the United States. The first convention was held at the Howard Johnson's in downtown Des Moines
in the summer of 1971.
To commemorate this event, the attendees posed for a picture in the parking lot. Here is Jim on that very spot. We have this rough footage taken during the very first convention. It shows the new members going about electing a president and board of directors. Lionel sent a representative to talk about the current production and brought 4 brand new train sets. One of the 4 was presented to Jim for all his hard work starting the club. This is that very set, proudly on display in the Gates train room. When the meeting was over, the new members jumped into their own cars and headed to the local railroad yard for the first LCCA tour, and thus began a 40-year tradition of meeting with Lionel and tours involving prototypical railroading. Jim's main goal has always been to get the club started. He never ran for office, however, he was made a director unbeknownst to him. But Jim has always felt the leadership should come from our membership. He told me one of his favorite things to do at a convention is to meet with new members that did not know anyone and make them feel welcome. Our membership has grown in size from a handful in 1970 to nearly 8,000 today. Jim and Josie moved from Des Moines to a nearby small town and built a home. The house was designed around the basement/train room. The Gates train room houses a wonderful layout built by Jim. It has a center area complete with a table and chairs for visitors. Jim's handiwork is everywhere, from the World War II air base to a hand-built model of the Addams Family mansion from the popular 1960s TV show. Around the edges of the layout houses countless pictures of his family, their railroad careers, along with Jim and Josie's 51-year marriage. The LCCA is represented too, with 40 years of Jim's personal history with the club. I am not sure I have ever run across anyone more passionate about the LCCA and Lionel trains. We are so grateful to Jim and his fellow charter members for deciding to form this club. We are equally grateful that Jim and Josie opened their home and shared their photos, memories, history, and layout with all of us. Jim embodies what this hobby and club is all about. One need only to watch the big smile that appears on his face every time he cracks the throttle open on one of his many trains. His willingness to share his knowledge and experience with our members is legendary, and his love for all things Lionel is unshakable. Founder of the Lionel Collectors Club of America, charter member number 1, Jim Gates.